What tips can you give an ISFP to be successful? Before I can answer, please subscribe to the channel so I can make sure that the lights stay on consistently. Otherwise, it could just get like super stormy in here, lightning, thunder, fog, and probably rain on me during when I'm filming. Don't really want that, so please subscribe. Anyway, that being said, what is up, Ego Hackers? I'm C.S. Joseph, here to answer your questions on any topic, Jungian analytical psychology, or the four sides of the mind, also known as four sides dynamics. And the source of today's question is this little cat right here. No, actually, it's Cora. It really is Cora, I promise. So here we go. What tips can you give an ISFP to be successful? We have Celine Chan, who claims to be an INFP, I think. In general, everyone needs the right motivation, passion, drive, and self-discipline in order to be successful. Okay, what kind of success are we talking about here? If you have none of these, no matter what goals you want to reach, you will feel short from it. ISFP's successful objective is so that they can help make this world a more beautiful place because they have become a beautiful person to their influence. I will go through the ISFP cognitive functions to break down cognitive understanding that ISFPs tend to go through to recognize their level of success and what they measure. Okay, and then she just provides this huge list of cognitive functions, finding their most important values, recognize the person that they are, the person they want to become, draws from listening to other people's stories, observing successful people. Yeah, okay. Okay, no, that doesn't make sense, and I'm not really going to continue with that one, no. Oh, sweetie, don't you just love being the caretaker? I don't know why Jake T is saying that. Don't change a thing. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm sorry, I'm looking at kind of like getting a little creeped out a little bit by reading this. I'm not sure. You're the one who would want the help so much they end up being the most susceptible to manipulation. But good news, if you maintain a healthy and positive attitude, you can channel that caring energy into people who appreciate and who will return the love in other ways. Are you like talking about an ESFJ or something, or an INFJ? Like, I don't know. All right, oh gosh, another function stack thing. Okay, so we have a somatic healer, MBTI certified yoga therapist, Lena Norway. Let's hope we got something good here. Let's take a look at the ISFP function stack. Okay. Personal values, integrity, connecting to the world, grounding for the ISFP, meditative leisure, interesting. I don't think they do much of that. And lacking motivation to achieve outcomes, paying your dues, etc. Okay. Not that great. I'm trying to like find some like actual practical examples here. Brian Rosander, software engineer. Know your strengths and weaknesses. You are great at making things run fast and making people get things done quickly. Really? Please keep some people around you so you can smooth off your rough edges, though. No, ISFPs don't have rough edges. Delegating is difficult for everyone. You must be talking about an ISTP or something. Delegating is difficult for everyone. Learn to lower your expectations a little and find people who can live up to them the best. Practice your skills and abilities like a swordsmith or fine artist honing their skills. I mean, those things are okay. I know that you want to find the person to blame for failure and shame them for it. Shame and shock are powerful tools, but use them too much and people either leave or grow numb to them. Either develop other tools to improve from failure or work with other people who have them. Save your power for when it's most necessary. That's actually really good advice for ISFPs. That's like super good advice. All right, ENTJs and ESTJs are going to be some of your best friends. Neither of them will mind your temper that much while frequently having the mindset and resources that you are missing. Just get used to miscommunicating with the ESTJs and resolve to correct when it happens. This guy is completely unaware of compatibility and camaraderie, but that's okay. It's not his fault. All right, some INFP person is giving advice for INFPs for some reason, and Elisa Kwan says that she knows English. I think that's good. Learn self-love and general love in return. Successful is an abstract, vague goal. Okay, I'm basically done because I don't think anyone here is able to actually answer this question in a meaningful way. So let's get back to just answering the question and petting the cat because we can. So what tips can I give an ISFP to be successful? Honestly, I would say it's chapter 9 from the book titled Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. I will now recite the entirety of that chapter to you right now. Care. Okay, done. That was chapter 9. So, quite frankly, folks, ISFPs just basically need to care. They have to care about what they're doing. They have to care about the people in their relationships with. They need to care about the job that they're doing. Because if they don't care, they're going to become super lazy and super idle. But when an ISFP actually does care, they're the most diligent, hardworking people that I have ever met or known. They get more work done than anybody else. They can outwork an INTJ. They can outwork an ENTJ. They can outwork literally everybody. No one can outwork an ISFP when they actually care about what it is they're doing. And usually to get an ISFP to care about what it is they're doing, it's because they're drawing a sense of status and achievement from what it is, because their extroverted thinking inferior needs to have a high level of achievement and gain credits that gives them notoriety. They crave notoriety so much that people would know them by their works and by their creations, for example. And this includes like with paintings or also a little INFP kitty. They have like, that's why they're really good at painting or creating art. ISFPs are known as the artist type, and they want their legacy to be the physical things that they've created with their hands that people will remember forever, essentially. And they want the notoriety that comes from having that. It's just too bad that many ISFPs don't get the notoriety within their actual lifespan, but they do later, right? And not only that, there's also remnants of INFPs throughout history or ISFPs throughout history that we just don't actually know who created the art that was left behind. We just don't know, but we still appreciate it to this day. But the bottom line is an ISFP will not be successful if they don't care about what they're doing. This is why ISFPs often, when they're on the job, they just look like they're working instead of actually working, because they don't actually care about the work. They're just waiting to that moment when the bell rings and they can just go home and not have to deal with that anymore. They don't actually take the joy in necessarily working for the man. It's oftentimes that ISFPs need to be the man in some capacity. This is why I really stress ISFPs learning entrepreneurship. Some examples of ISFP entrepreneurs out there. Mike Cernovich, he's an ISFP entrepreneur. There's also, and no, I don't listen to him, I'm just mentioning him. There's also Haley S. Walker. She's an artist who has somehow turned her art into a business. For example, there's various art galleries where art is being curated, also ran by ISFPs who have their own art posted as well. There's also some ISFP engineers out there, especially from an IT standpoint, who are very capable, etc. But bottom line is that whatever their vocation is, they just have to care. And the same goes to be with their relationship, because if they don't actually care about someone, they're not going to be loyal to that person. Their NI child is just going to cause the ISFP to effectively cheat. Out of all of the types, NI child and NI heroes cheat the most in their relationships. Especially among women, technically, that can be a serious issue. And I know a lot of people stop begging on women all the time. It's like, it's not about that, guys. It's just honest. Like when we live in a society that practices open hypergamy, NI child and NI hero women they cheat consistently, and it is known. That's not to say that ISFP and ISTP, INFJ and INTJ men don't cheat as well. They certainly do. Although INTJ men definitely, I would say, cheat the least out of all three of those. Cheating for INTJ men, it is a thing. It's just not so common amongst the NI optimistic types. Some additional tips for ISFP to be successful. Stop being so afraid of what other people think of you, because you need to actually value what it is you're making with your hands first, regardless of how people think of it. Just because people aren't going to give you notoriety about something today doesn't mean that they won't do it tomorrow. You have to have a little bit more faith. And if you don't have faith, you're not really going to be successful no matter what creative pursuit you pursue. Not only that, if you're an ISFP and you're trying to create a band, you probably want to make sure that you're like the absolute leader of the band, because your ENTJ subconscious is going to get like really upset with you if you're not the decision maker. It's really important for ISFPs in creative pursuits to be like the decision maker for those creative pursuits, because if they're not, then they're going to not care, they're not going to get anything done, and they're going to lose all their energy in it as a result. So it's really, really important, guys, to keep that in mind, like super important. So also, with that being said, too, uh, always make sure that whenever you get like a job or vocation in a relationship, you always have freedom of choice. Freedom of choice will also cause you to become idle if you have it taken away from you. Freedom of choice is everything. So make sure that you're going out of your way to protect your choice, while simultaneously also being aware of the consequences that happen when you make a choice. Because if you make bad choices that leads to bad consequences for other people, they will take your choice away. They will take away your freedom. You will be locked up, and that's just a reality. Also, ISFPs, if you spend so much time managing other people's perceptions about you, you will never be successful in your creative pursuits. You'll never even be successful in your management pursuits either, or your leadership pursuits. The less you start to care about what people think of you, the more you will be successful and the happier you will be in terms of management and leadership. Leadership is literally what makes ISFPs the happiest out of everybody. So focus on everything while you're doing your creative pursuits, also be learning leadership as much as possible, because leadership is the key to ISFP success and the key to ISFP happiness. If you'd like a chance to your question being answered on this channel, please post it on Quora or tag me and leave it as a comment below. If you want a guaranteed answer to your question, become an Ego Hacker Initiate at csjoseph.life/members and post your question as a comment to our Initiate membership page. I read all those, and then I'll be answering all those questions on a private live stream for Initiates each month. Anyway, folks, all that being said, I'll see you guys tonight.